We've got the Super Bowl rematch we have all been waiting for as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs look to get revenge as they host Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, who beat them in last year's Super Bowl. My name is Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down the game and provide our predictions at the very end of the video. So be sure to stay tuned throughout the entirety of this episode. Before we get into it, be sure to leave a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win and why, and hit that subscribe button to get notified when new videos come out. And Ryan, we got to see the Eagles win on the first game of the 2025 season as they hosted the Dallas Cowboys and won 24-20. And then the Kansas City Chiefs went down to Brazil and unfortunately lost to their division rival, the Los Angeles Chargers, 27-21, and two really good games. I think the Eagles game was a little bit
Yeah.
closer, in my opinion. I think probably in a lot of our opinions than I think a lot of us initially would have thought. Uh, Part of that's maybe thanks to Jalen Carter, but then the Charger Chiefs game, we knew was going to be good, and I Patrick Mahomes, I was the main reason why that game was so close. He was doing some absolutely amazing things with the football.
Yeah.
It was, I know a lot of people, especially like Chris Collinsworth, like overhypes him up so much, but if we're being fair, some of the things he was running for his life for majority of that game, and I
Yeah.
think that's going to be the pretty consistent theme for the Chiefs this year, especially if they're still having receiver issues. Going to have to see what happens with Xavier Worthy as well. See if he is able to go for this game after dislocating his shoulder. But Ryan, want to throw it over to you here, especially both these teams getting a little bit extra longer break, even though the Chiefs are coming back from Sao Paulo. But Ryan, what are your thoughts on both of these teams and what you saw in Week 1 from them?
Yeah. I mean, one, looking at the Chiefs, I was very impressed with Patrick Mahomes, especially his poise just to stay in there. The Chargers had 2 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, 3 tackles for loss. They had 4 passes deflected. I'm not totally sure on the pressure numbers, but it felt like every play at some point Mahomes was under some level of pressure by that defensive line. And then also too, the other thing that I thought was very glaring by the Chiefs that you don't see all the time is just the overall penalties. I believe they have had 10 penalties for 71 yards in the Week 1 matchup, and I, I'm not trying to like downplay the Chargers defensive line, but Khalil Mack is a very good player, but he's in his mid 30s now, and I think he's the best player on that defensive front. And so I really am curious to see how the Chiefs can come in and make these adjustments here 9 days later, and come after or take not take advantage of and try to control this line of scrimmage, because if not, if they cannot figure out how to block this pass rush, I am very concerned that it will be a repeat of the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes will just be running for his life. He's going to have to play Superman, and that's just not a sustainable way, especially Patrick Mahomes is in his 8th or 9th year in the league. But the receiving weapons are just not on the Chiefs right now, especially you throw in the Xavier Worthy injury. Rashee Rice is suspended for the first 6 games. Travis Kelce is showing his age a little bit. He had 2 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown, I believe. And honestly, his long catch was more off of a blown coverage than him really making a play. And
It was a
so
good
I
play call.
think
It was a good play design.
it was a good play call. But the
Yeah.
Chargers defender was there. He just blew it. He just blew his coverage. Um, and to me, I think you give him credit for that. But going to the Eagles, Jalen Carter will be back, so this defensive line will be stronger. And in the second half of that Dallas game, we did kind of see them start to pick things up. I was surprised at how close that game was, given the fact that Dallas was not expected to be good, and given the fact that CeeDee Lamb had three major drops at key
Yeah.
points in the game. That game, Eagles probably should have lost that game. But you go and also look, Chargers ran the ball for 25 carries for 90 yards. So 3.5 yards a carry. Eagles are going to be better probably in the trenches on that side of the ball as well, with Saquon running the football. So I think a lot of things stack up well for the Eagles going into this matchup. But again, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. He showed that on Friday night, and he could really take over. I know you could debate it, but for the sake of he's the best quarterback in this game. How about that? Uh, I would
Yeah,
take
I'll
him
give you
over.
that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I do think I think Philadelphia matches up really well against them.
they do. Yeah,
They have a really good defensive front seven with a team that's still trying to work out their offensive line. I will say on a positive note, I was impressed with Josh Simmons overall.
yeah,
They're a rookie left tackle that they got out of Ohio State. Made a couple errors, yes. I mean, you're going to have that in your first NFL start, but at the same time, though, too, he's got that mobile, athletic build I think that they're looking for, and it's something that they haven't really had since Orlando Brown
yeah,
when they drafted him there. And so I think long term, I do think they have that spot figured out. Obviously, he's got to stay healthy. There are other things. I mean, Jawan Taylor's still kind of wild that he's still there, but I guess also too
yeah,
cap space issues. But I think then on top of that, you have that aggressive front seven with an offensive line that's still figuring itself out. They did not really run the ball well at all. And so that's another thing that's going to affect them on that front seven. Yes, like you go look, they have 98 yards, but Patrick Mahomes had 57 of those yards. And
yeah,
and then on the flip side too, when it comes to the running game as well, yeah, the Chargers only had 90 rushing yards. Yes, Justin Herbert had the 32 rushing yards, 19 of which came on the final play of the game. But that's going to be the thing, though, is if you lose containment on the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts, he's going to burn you just as how we saw
yeah,
with the Dallas Cowboys game as well, too.
yeah,
So then if you do try and contain him, this offensive line is still really good to where then he's got options to pick you apart. With AJ Brown did not have a game at all, but I mean you still
mm-mm.
got Devontae Smith, you still got Jahan Dotson,
Dallas
like
Goddard.
yeah, Dallas Goedert, and also too on top of
Yeah,
that, we still haven't even talked about the Eagles' run game in and of itself with Saquon Barkley. So
yeah,
there's just a lot of different ways this Eagles teams can go around beating you. Like it's funny, people are saying like Jalen. I saw somebody was trying to say like Jalen Hurts is overrated but they just showed his passing stats. It didn't show his running stats or like his what he brings to the game there. Like he is a very dual threat quarterback, and it's hard to defend against.
yeah,
But I also think too on top of that, and this is where maybe people like quarterbacks get too much praise or too much hate. But it's like Jalen Hurts' team is set up better to win
yeah,
than Patrick Mahomes' team is right now. You know,
yeah.
the
I
Chiefs
agree.
are very most likely going to be out their top two receivers. Their star tight end is and probably his final year, maybe his second final year. I need to go back and double check like what his contract situation was. But so your top three weapons are essentially washed, and then if you go look at the other guys here on their team, I mean, Hollywood Brown, he had a solid game. I take that back. He had a pretty good, he had a well above average game, 10 catches, 99 yards. And so I think you can see him improve there. Jesus Smith Schuster's reliable, but not going to be anything super crazy. I think also it's pretty obvious where we're going with our
Mm,
picks here, but
yeah. Well,
we're just talking about the
you
game
said
here.
it.
And well,
You said it
let me finish up my
yourself.
point. And
Sorry. Go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes is the reason why that game was so close. You go put a lot of other
Yeah.
you go put Justin Herbert on that Kansas City Chiefs team. Like if you switch the roles, that's a probably a 42 to 10 blowout. No
Yeah.
offense to Justin Herbert, but like because Justin Herbert I think is a top 5 quarterback, top 6 quarterback I think in the league. So,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go with the Eagles
Yeah,
if it
I'm going with
wasn't
them
already
too.
very obvious.
You also said it too at the beginning. It's also just the matchup, and I'm going to be picking the Eagles probably every single week this year. They're just so talented. That defense, even when they struggled against Dallas, who also, by the way, plays them twice a year and really has
Mhm.
dialed in how to play against that defense. Uh, Even Dallas, like they started to piece things together there against Dallas. Then you also throw in the Chiefs are going to be losing their top two weapons against this Eagles team in Rashi Rice and Xavier Worthy, and it's just it's really I think it's just going to be really hard for the Chiefs to win this one and come out on top. So we're both taking the Eagles here. Let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time.